Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Chasing Rabbits. My name is Scott Brown, and you have found my vlog dedicated to trying to help you become the leader that you always wished that you had worked for. So one of my favorite Toastmasters, one of my favorite speakers out there is a gentleman named Darren LaCroix. He runs an organization right now called Stage Time University. He's famous in the Toastmasters world for winning the World Championship of Public Speaking 15, 20 years ago now. Absolutely fantastic platform, and one of the things he's incredibly famous for is his World Championship winning speech. Now, this is not an advertisement for Stage Time University. It's not an advertisement for Darren LaCroix. This is context. So in Darren's World Championship winning speech, he makes reference to this quote from Brian Tracy where he says, "What would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? What would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail?" Now, I've heard that quote used as an inspirational mantra to try to get people to take risks and to go beyond where they thought they could go. But whenever I'm asked that question, what would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? To me, the answer is rather obvious. Not much. Because why would you go out and invest your energy, your time, the blood, sweat, and tears to do something if you're guaranteed success? The growth that we get, the growth that your people get, the growth everybody gets comes through the struggle. It's through the journey, not the destination. So if there's no stress, there's no challenge in getting to somewhere, you're not learning, you're not growing. All that you're doing is just checking off a box. So what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? To me, self-defeating. If you set up systems for your people where they're so protected that they can't fail, I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. One, do you trust them? Because if you don't trust your people to do great things, that's when you'll set them up so that they can't fail, because you're too concerned about them failing. Protecting them from failure, protecting others from failure is a sign that you don't trust somebody. The second thing I would ask you, if you're setting up a system that they would do something that they can't fail, the second thing is, are you resting them out? Now, there's two sides to stress. Sometimes we get stressed so much in the workplace that we burn out. And we end up leaving the workforce, we end up leaving the job because we just can't take it anymore. But on the flip side of getting burned out is getting rusted out. And that means that you're not putting forth the effort, you're not working, you're not growing, and you're just decaying away. It's mental atrophy. That all that you're doing is shrinking because there's no effort being put in. There's no growth, there's no future. So I want you to ask yourself, if you think of this statement, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And you think of that in terms of, well, that's inspirational. What are you really inspiring your people to do? Because part of being a leader is to create the opportunity for others to fail and fail forward, to grow into whatever it is that they're trying to do, to grow into whomever they're supposed to become. And that takes failure. From that failure, we learn. We learn our limits, we learn our deficiencies, we learn what not to do sometimes, but we're always learning. If we never fail, we're never growing. I want to be in a position where I'm going to fail sometimes, and that's okay. I don't want such a safety net that I'm never going to fail, because if so, I'm never going to grow. So ask yourself, are you challenging your people enough, or are you challenging your people too much? And the next time you hear somebody say, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? I want you to think about what they're really asking you. Are they really asking you, what's your upper limit of where you think you can go? Or, what do you need to do because I don't trust you? I hope it's not the latter. So until tomorrow, I wish you well, my friends. Tonight was a 2-for because I had to redo one from last night. So I hope you have a wonderful night tonight. I will talk to you tomorrow for another edition of Chasing Rabbits. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Toast on, my friends. Toast on. Be well. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.